How freaking cool is that shit?
Great Scott!
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Nice, right? I learned that one from you, guy. Bang it out.
We are going live. Yeah. Feel free to hang around for a while.
Oh, God, this makes me happy.
Live on all the interwebs and internets, it's Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Nobody help me. I know what I'm doing, I swear. This is Mic Check
Are
Radio.
you sure?
I am...
Are we recording?
God damn it!
Come on.
Okay. All right. We'll fix it in post. We can do that. We can do that.
Not a problem. Hi, everybody.
Anyway, this is Mic Check Radio. I believe we're on. Testing. Yes. Okay, so now we're recording. We are on live on YouTube and at long last, Indie Media Weekly Radio. How about that? Kim put in some overtime this week to make sure we were ready to air, and it paid off. I'm telling you. I bet you we are sounding clear as a bell. And
It's incredible. The audio is beautiful, and Kim is a wonderful person for making it all happen. She's been putting in overtime for the better part of a month to get to where we are, and she deserves big applause.
Yes, and I'm going to turn off the green screen effect just because I still have to work on that. I think I need better lighting. I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
but anyway, joining me... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was about to say...
No,
joining
fine.
me,
Yeah, please.
Joining me, as always, out of the great city of Baltimore, Maryland, Mr. Robert Poole, the most useful co-host in Liberal Talk Radio.
Yeah, I might have to give that title up this week. Because, if you hear the Mediaite or Right Wing Watch, that their jingle, that's Adam's fault, not mine.
How is it my fault?
Because you're the one that did the audio.
I did the... it's on now.
Oh, boys, don't bite. You're both cute and pretty.
Wes Carscaddon, the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio, should have joined us at the top of the show, but we'll see what happens with him. But in the meantime, joining us out of our Cleveland, Ohio bureau, Mr. Kenny Pick.
That's right. Right here on Indie Media Weekly.
On Indie Media Weekly. The Cuyahoga River isn't burning tonight, is it? I know that's an old reference. What?
I wasn't even alive when that happened. But thankfully, Richard Nixon's EPA, that big government program, prevented that from ever happening again. Thank you, Republicans.
And also joining us out of the great state of North Carolina, the official Blah screenwriter of the Stephanie Miller Show, Mr. Cordell Garrett.
I'm broadcasting for Commander of Nathaniel Taylor's hunt for Terra Nova, but don't let him know I'm actually borrowing it tonight. He'll get pissed.
And I will say, I don't know who's more excited, me or what the hell? What the? Okay, there we go. Never mind. Just all of a sudden, the microphone seemed to go dead. I bet I don't know who's more excited, me or Cordell, because I just found out a couple days ago, The Legend of Korra, which is the sequel to one of my all-time favorite cartoons, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Legend of Korra Season 3 starts next Friday. Small problem.
I'm super psyched, and the only downside of it is I'm moving next weekend. I'm not gonna be with you that Saturday, so I'm like, do I need to leave my TV up so I can binge watch Korra? And I said, nah, I ain't missing the premiere, so it's gonna stay hooked up until the last minute.
Well, there's a small problem. There's a scheduling conflict because I will be guest hosting Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick next Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. I hope you don't mind my dropping that bomb, Kenny.
Oh no, it's great. I forgot to mention it last night, so yeah, please.
Well, that's why I was like, should I say something? He didn't. But yeah, so I'll have to see the premiere in replay, but it's going to be a good show. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but it's going to be a good show. So,
well, as a Zuko fan, I'm really looking forward to book 3.
Yeah. I recognize that scar on that old man's face. That can only be one person. But anyway, we'll enough about that. This week we got a pretty interesting show. I would hope. There are several events in the conservative bubble that we cover extensively every year. Of course, it's usually CPAC, NRA conferences, stuff like that. But this week it was like a double full moon of batshit crazy in Washington because it was the March. Okay. I'm 1 second. Because it was the March for Marriage and the what's it called? What's the other thing called? The Faith and Freedom Coalition Road to the Majority conference. Like that's ever gonna happen. Well, okay. It could, but every minute, I'm feeling better and better about the. God damn it! Come on! Every minute, I'm feeling. We're probably going to keep the Senate. But we're not going to be able to take the House. That's just my go. And we'll get back our panel. Toot sweet. And all right. I think everyone's back. Let's do a quick. You know what? Let's do this right. Let's do a quick box check because obviously, you should hear 1.21 gigawatts.
Yep.
Was that clear? Was that good?
Computer says perfect.
Okay, good. But let me double check and make sure it's showing up on butt because that's going to be important. All right, I think we got it. All right, so as I was saying, this week was like we cover several in the conservative bubble world, whatever. They live in an alternate reality. Let's be honest. Up is down, black is white, evil is good. You know, it was like a double full moon of just batshit crazy. Because it was the March for Marriage and the Faith and Freedom Coalition Road to the Majority conferences this week in Washington. We've got a bunch of audio because these people are totally clueless. And the sad thing is they actually have a lot of power. They have a lot more power than they really should have. And so they're clueless, but they're dangerous too.
Yes.
And make no mistake, people probably think I'm exaggerating, you know, when I say these people want to rule you. I am not exaggerating. They want to run every aspect of your life. They want to tell you how to worship, how to live your life. They want to take away the right for you to choose whether or not you get an abortion or not. And they call it freedom. And the sad thing is there are lots of people who actually buy into the idea that telling people what to do constitutes freedom. I had an argument with one last night. But yeah, some really disgusting stuff. I don't know if you guys saw the picture of the Obama urinal cakes.
Yeah.
Ew, seriously?
Yeah, keeping it classy on the right as always. KKK classy.
Yeah, the family values people have some pretty twisted sexual fetishes, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine though if it had been a liberal putting a George W. Bush urinal cake to be peed on at
Well,
a
that's
major
okay, 'cause
conference?
they don't. You got to remember though, they can't even remember who George W. Bush is in the first place.
Yeah.
That's true because I got into it with a conservative yesterday. Y'all know me well enough to know I don't like debating conservatives because in the end they send you all around in different circles and they make your head hurt. So yesterday, I belong into this super secret group on Facebook, and a bunch of us was trying to debate this conservative. I'm not going to give his name, but he posted this very disrespected poster of the president and had the nerve to say he was expressing a valid concern. And when a bunch of us challenged was saying, how is this picture of the president looking like, and it's so very inappropriate. How's this expressing your concern? All you're doing is just showing how really ignorant and racist you are. He wouldn't engage us. He wouldn't, debate on the issues. He kept calling us names. And I think maybe after about 10 minutes, my patience just ran out. I couldn't deal with the guy. One thing I've learned in the 4 years that I have really been trying to talk to conservatives, you can't reach them. You
No.
can't reason with them.
No, I mean,
And
sorry.
go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say, I actually saw a really funny graphic that I sent to Kenny. It was of Egon looking freaked out, and the caption was, "I looked at the comments, Ray."
Yeah.
I can actually see Egon saying something like that, which is what's so bad.
I sent it to Kenny because I figured, he's always going to the comment section because
it's a dark place.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I mean, these people just don't get it. They don't understand. You tell them, you guys are hateful. We're not hateful. We love you. No, you're pretty damn hateful. And as a famous green Muppet once wisely observed, just fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to conservatism.
I saw that. That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm not that bad at imitating Yoda either. That's about one of the few voices I can do without lapsing into a coughing. I definitely can't do Alex Jones.
Lizard me play my ball.
That's good.
He tried.
I thought you were going to quote Kermit the Frog at first. You said Green Muppet.
Well, okay, I guess Kermit is a bit more famous than Yoda because Kermit's been around longer. But no, I was talking about Yoda.
I don't know. Yoda got a beat in my department.
But I mean, these people. I mean, like I said, they're clueless, they're deluded, and they're dangerous. And if you don't hear these... Oh, sorry, Kenny. Go on.
No. Actually, the thing of it is you are what you listen to. And these people live in that bubble. And they only listen to people that they agree with. And if you disagree with them, suddenly you're the enemy.
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's your fault. They love to throw out the charge. You're trying to take away my right to disagree. And I'm like, to disagree is one thing, but when you post things that call folks names, you insult someone's sexuality, you say God knows mean and hurtful things that I won't even dare say on the airways. That's not being disagreeable. I mean, you just being downright mean. I mean,
Yeah.
Last time I checked, fellas, don't we all bleed the same color?
Computer resources, so
Absolutely.
so yes, please head on over to there. I believe I'm in there. Let me check. I should be logged in. Yeah, I'm logged in.
There
so
you are. You're
yeah.
there. Excellent. All right, cool.
So,
Continue.
I'm trying to remember what my thought was before you interrupted me. Anyone remember? No.
We all bleed the same. Republicans, maybe they don't bleed. Maybe they bleed oil. Republicans do.
Yeah.
Oh, and you mentioned Armin as well.
Well, like I said, Kenny, I genuinely respect Armin. I like him. But he basically accused me of sympathizing with the Taliban because I pointed out we can cut a deal with them, but we can't cut a deal with the Republicans, which is the truth.
I'm still trying to figure out how he got the Taliban out of all that. I think that went over my head.
Well, because we negotiated with Taliban to secure the release of Bo Bergdahl. And so because I'm pointing out the truth, which is we can negotiate with them easier than we can negotiate with the Republican Party and the jihadists in America. Oh, they love it when you call them that because,
Yeah.
But the thing is, all they have is name calling. They can't make a rational argument for their positions. It's just, they won't challenge themselves. They won't go over that comfort zone. And these conferences prove it. But we're also going to cover some, assuming Wes shows up, I figured we could do some Game of Thrones talk because I got a great comedy bit, guys.
Yes.
Awesome.
I got a great comedy. Hopefully he'll join us. I don't know. He said he would be available, but you never, stuff happens. It's okay. But yeah,
can we do it if he doesn't show up?
Oh no, we're gonna do it no matter what. I would hate for him to miss this. But next segment we'll do some general crazy Republican. Oh, and I also forgot Mark Taylor Canfield, the newest member of our highly dysfunctional loving family, will be on with us at 9 Eastern to talk about.
Yeah, he's at the Seattle. Yeah, he's at the Seattle Solstice parade and everything. So he's gonna give us his report on how many naked people he saw.
Hello.
Oh, that's right. It's midsummer, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
longest
day of the year right now, folks. It's going to be dark till nearly 10 o'clock here. Or light.
Light.
I gotta say, what?
I was about to say, it's like...
Oh, sorry, I had my eyes closed.
You're not getting that nightcap on a little early, are you, Kenny?
Yeah, really. I'm still trying to rehydrate from last night.
What happened last night? Other than turn up the night. Oh, right. That's right. It's it dehydrates you. Right. All right. So we'll come back. We'll go over some general. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you got. I mean, something. We captured the guy. We'll go over a bunch of this stuff because I'm telling you, these people are. I mean, I don't know what. Did I miss something? Was it a full moon?
I'm reminded of one of the movies that I was watching a while back, Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. During the first Percy Jackson, there was a line in there. I'll never forget my reaction to it, where the centaur tells Percy, I mean, the story about how the Greek gods come down to Earth and get a little bling on with human women. And he was telling Percy, hey, some of our children are famous. I mean, White House famous. And I was like, no, they just did not throw an Obama reference in there. And it got me thinking, it got me thinking, shoot, does he really have that good connection where he could just open up let the Republicans just wail on stuff for a while, and then he calls us there and says, yo, I need for you to hook me up. It's like, you got it. Bam. He does something that totally discredits them. Okay, I'm going Alex Jones on you, but I don't care.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're gonna go to break. We'll come back and we'll go over some crazy some hot, crazy, Christian and conservative action. And then we'll go to the conference stuff because let me tell you, oh my God, these people are crazy. They're crazy. Anyway, we're going to go to break. Oh crap, I don't even know what we're going to do for the break. I'm sorry, things are cattywampus today. Well, they're no more so than usual, I guess. But
I want some hair wolf.
I was about to say who all right, Ghost. We'll do Ghost Gun because I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I'm feeling. Come on, open up. This new update of.
Are you still trying to get used to that computer?
No, the computer's fine. Except I had to redo my Oh, and also I've taken the liberty of redoing a bunch of our old bumpers and liners to better reflect our new format, the new format of them. So keep a listen. Anyway, this is Mike Chuck Gray with me, Adam Hebert, Robert Poole, Kenny Pick, and Cordell Garrett. Hopefully Wes Carscaddon will be in. Anyway, we'll be back in a second.
You're listening to Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall.
And you're no match for my brains.
Yeah, that's smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Yes?
Morons.
Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show. We just got done listening to several clips about the Romney fundraisers over the weekend, and I invented the murder finger. It's an offspring of the murder fist. It just happens to be the murder fist with the middle finger extended.
Well, I'm ahead of you because I've had a 8-finger for many years.
8-finger.
8-finger. The man with the malcontent's touch. Yes.
Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
Unfiltered truth, news, and opinion. Filter-free radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott.
There's protesters waking up and people are getting in the streets. People want the truth. People are becoming active because, quite frankly, people are fed up. And we see things like Occupy Wall Street and Occupy whatever have you. These independent, nonpartisan movements growing. The status quo is scared. There is fear amongst those in power, and they want to maintain their power.
Live every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
They have to have Homeland Security keep tabs on Occupy Wall Street, or pass new bills that say it's illegal to protest, or suppress.
When these institutions no longer serve the function for which they were created, they are limited to force or fraud as the only means by which to keep people in check. And soon, force is all they have left, as people are starting to see through the fraud. So what are we going to do about it?
FilterFreeRadio.com.
You're listening to Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall.
Superpower, Scottity!
Well, I can eat my own weight in ding-dongs. I can turn red traffic lights green just by staring at them. And I can do an oil painting with my butt.
That's enough to get you on this show.
Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
And we are back. I didn't realize that both those bumpers had the same background. Sorry about that.
It sounded awesome.
Yeah. I will have to say, we'll figure that out later. But anyway, joining me as always, Mr. Robert Poole out of Baltimore, Maryland. Star Spangled Man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. He had a long night the other day.
That's a little bit.
No hard feelings. But anyway, also joining us, Mr. Kenny Pick out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to look up a marinade for chicken legs for tomorrow.
Stop, you make me hungry.
Chicken legs, seriously, get a big pack at the grocery store for $4.50. You know? Gonna marinate them, grill them tomorrow, and stick them in the freezer and have those for meals ready to go. And also, I went in and listened to Indie Media Weekly during the break, and Ghost Gun has never sounded better on a stream.
I mean, let me tell you, I was listening, like, the Indie Media Weekly Late Night Social Club, say that 5 times fast, sounded amazing. And I don't know if you got my message, Kenny. We need to add Little Ghost to a Halloween special playlist.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to a Halloween special this year once I get up and running for my broadcasting stuff. That's going to be fun.
I mean, assuming I'm available, I'll help you.
I thought the same thing about Little Ghost. Go ahead.
So I'm just saying, if you want help, I can help do the Halloween special. I think I'll have the time. But also joining us is the official Blah screenwriter of the Stephanie Miller Show, Mr. Cordell Garrett, who's getting ready to move.
Yes, sir. And as a matter of fact, I just learned that you can actually do a painting with your butt. So that's what George W. Bush does with his free time.
You never know. I can tell you though that I have more talents than that. But anyway, let's start going through this because this one is a doozy. I should have that in my box. I'm sorry. So we caught the guy who masterminded the Benghazi attack. You know, the one that's got Republicans all hot and bothered about. And, I mean, Republicans are just... They can't... It's like... They can't let President Obama have anything in the way of a victory.
You know what, Adam? This is how I look at it. Every couple of weeks, it seems like they're trying to start like a new, fresh scandal so they could monopolize the airwaves. And then I just love that the universe will let them have their fun for like a couple of weeks or a couple of months or however long it decides it wants them to have this fun. And then, bam, it does something that totally blows their narrative out the water. And I just love watching them all scramble, trying to figure out how to spin what's happening. And that's exactly what's going on. They cannot figure out how to spin this. So they go to the only thing they know how to go to, IRS.
And you know what?
It's awesome. It's classic.
When I watch their little brains explode, I have one reaction, and that is it's just so pathetic. They're so pathetic. They're so pathetic.
I'm still convinced that hell has frozen over because it ain't often, y'all, that I don't agree with anything that a conservative says, but I gotta eat some crow because, Lord, I found myself agreeing with Glenn Beck of all people this week.
Well, we'll get to that. I've got that, but let's go through this first. So, of course, Hillary Clinton had an interview on Fox News. You know, and let me tell you this. If I were ever elected head of the DNC, my first act would be to say any Democrat going on Fox News, regardless of level of office, would not receive funding from the DNC. We need to stop going to Fox. Fox needs us. We don't need them. Fox needs Democrats who are stupid enough to think they're a credible news source to go on and make them look like a credible news source. So, like I said, I know I'm never going to be elected head of the DNC because I have a spine. I know where my balls are. I haven't lost my balls. And I would, like I said, first in business. Any Democrat going on Fox News does not get funding, does not get help from DNC. They turn into a conspiracy theory. Take a listen to this. I mean, Hillary Clinton doesn't need help. She's going to kick your ass. It's a foregone conclusion.
Adam, unfortunately, people weren't hearing that sound from that clip coming through.
Oh,
Did something change?
No, nothing should have changed, but let me double check.
Okay. So.
Hold on one second.
I heard it just fine.
Yeah, we heard it here, but
hold on.
There might be.
Okay, that is definitely weird. Let me take a look at that. We'll fix it up real quick. And I see the problem right there. Okay.
Excellent.
Excellent. Okay, let's do that again. Let's listen to this again. because Adam doesn't know how to set things up properly, and plus, it just this is the definition of let me see here. This is, I mean, Kenny, this is the definition of
deep hurting. Deep hurting.
Am I right or am I right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here's the Fox News conspiracy theory again.
Attack, and at that time, Harris, he said that no authority had yet questioned him about that attack. And he also went on to say that he had no plans of going into hiding. He was very confident at that time. And how much time has now passed when we knew then?
Something clearly changed in the calculus of the United States, and I think a lot of it does have to do with the State Department. I think this thing needs to be tied in a bow for certain individuals to have a clean break from an incident that has become and will continue to be a scandal and an anchor around a certain individual's neck who may want to run for president.
Well,
and so there's
having an interview today.
Who might just be having what a great thing to announce on an interview tonight at Fox News, that the perpetrators have been brought to justice. It's all too neat. And it's too cute, and I want to be grateful. I always want to give the benefit of the doubt to our authorities, but in this case, it feels too neat on the timeline.
I give the benefit.
Since when have they ever given any? Since when have they given the president the benefit of the doubt? When does that start?
Never. Let me check this one clip real quick.
They've got one suspect in custody.
Okay, so that one we haven't played. We'll play that in a second, but. They can't let President Obama have a victory, can they, Kenny?
Oh, yeah. No. It's just victory in Obama. Those two words to the right wing, they just don't go.
Yeah,
it's like their kryptonite. You know, you say victory in Obama to a conservative, like, oh my God, I'm losing my strength. Get that kryptonite away from me. Oh, I'm dead.
Uncanny.
Uncanny.
It's gonna be okay.
Here's the next clip.
They've got one suspect in custody, we're told by senior U.S. officials, but they're still looking for more. Obviously, this president has been under great political pressure. Republicans have that special committee in the House investigating exactly what happened with the Benghazi terror attacks, investigating the aftermath, whether or not there was a cover-up. There have been a lot of charges back and forth about all of this, but a very important development now for this president, for the U.S. military, to actually get at least one of the suspects in this terror attack that killed 4 Americans September 11, 2012, John.
The obvious question, Ed, and I'm guessing you're not in a position to answer it yet, is why now? I mean, as you point out, this guy Catala was out sitting in sidewalk cafes, meeting with reporters, and as you say, bragging about his role in all of this. Why did they pick him up now?
Well, we're going to have to fill in more details on what intelligence they got in the last days, weeks to move in on him. You're right that the administration was facing criticism last year after they named this suspect, Catala, in a sealed indictment. The Justice Department did. And then, as you say, he was openly doing various media interviews, boasting about his role in all of this. And the question was, why hasn't the U.S. been able to bring him in if various U.S. media outlets had been able to interview him? I remember asking President Obama last year at a news conference as to why he had not been able to get any of these suspects. He said at the time, this is difficult business. We're trying very hard. And I remember him telling me at that news conference, look, it took us a long time to get bin Laden. We ended up getting him. We're going to get these suspects as well. Well, they've gotten one of them at least, John.
Yeah, good news there, I guess. Ed Henry at the White House. Ed, thank you.
I don't know what to do. These people are crazy. I mean, I know I keep saying that.
It's like they see conspiracies around every move President Obama makes. You know, if I was that news anchor, my first question would have been, so did the suspect actually confess that the video that was made was part of the reason why I've been?
And now we got to get to this because so Iraq is falling apart. If only there was a group of very smart people who told you this would have happened 10 years ago. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, I have a little commentary about that. Want to hear something interesting?
Yeah.
Check this out. Once you got to Iraq and took it over and took down Saddam Hussein's government, then what are you going to put in its place? That's a very volatile part of the world. And if you take down the central government of Iraq, you can easily end up setting pieces of Iraq flying off. Part of it, the Syrians would like to have to the west. Part of eastern Iraq, the Iranians would like to claim, fought over for 8 years. In the north, you have the Kurds. You got the Kurds. And if the Kurds spin loose and join with the Kurds and Turkey, then you threaten the territorial integrity of Turkey. It's a quagmire. Yeah. And guess who said that? Take a wild guess.
I don't know. Does he have a W in his name?
Was it Dick Cheney?
No. Yes. It was Dick Cheney in 1994.
That was just a wild guess. I thought it was going to be wrong.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, I want my chicken dinner, goddammit. But no, okay, so Iraq is going to hell in a handbasket. And, I hate to say I told you so, but we told you so!
And Beck actually came out. I'm sorry, I can't get over he said this, but he actually said we was right. I mean, Lord, I thought I had wax in my ears when Beck made that admission last week.
And
Pat Robertson of all people, being rational. I mean, guys, I don't drink, but guys, I'm seriously thinking about drinking.
Yeah.
Me agreeing with two Republicans.
Well, see, and I hope Glenn Beck realizes that we have this thing called audio tape.
Are you familiar with audio tape?
Because I will bet you $5 he will be walking this back on Monday. Take a listen.
Maybe we can come together now on this nightmare in Iraq. From the beginning, most people on the left were against going into Iraq. I wasn't. At the time, I believed that the United States was under threat from Saddam Hussein. I really, truly believed that Saddam Hussein was funding terrorists. We knew that. He was funding the terrorists in Hamas. We knew that he was giving money. We could track that. We knew that he hated us. We knew that without a shadow of a doubt. It wasn't much of a stretch to believe that he would fund a terror strike against us, especially since he would say that. So I took him at his word. There were also atrocities that were happening in Iraq. There were torture chambers. There were mass graves. And at the time, the unanimous belief, even with Hillary Clinton and everybody else, the unanimous belief was that he had weapons of mass destruction. There was also the element, and this really is what spoke to me.
No, there wasn't a unanimous belief. We told you Bush was full of shit, and you gave us the middle finger.
And on top of that, you all told us that we were un-American for opposing you.
And I'd like to say something too. And Cordell, I wouldn't step up and be so eager to agree with Glenn Beck, because he's wrong in his analysis as to why we were right. He lied at one point in one of these clips and said, we didn't think you could force freedom. The liberals didn't think you could force somebody to accept freedom. No, we said we shouldn't invade a country that didn't attack us.
That's true. I mean, that's my biggest pet peeve with Republican presidents. When a Republican gets in after we've had a Democrat in office, you can bet your butt that within a couple of years, we're going into some, country to either occupy it or to start stuff. and it never ends well. I mean, I've noticed every time we nation build, we get more added to the debt. The people that come back have a lot of psychological problems. The VA gets underfunded, but yet our party catches all the blame, and the media just curls up in a ball and runs with it.
Yeah, and Rob, what kind of country are we going to invade when we have a Republican president?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it going to be one that has humanitarian, the suffering and genital mutilation and rape as torture, or are we going to go into a place that has vast resources that we want?
Yeah, it's strange how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems to me that a lot of these wars are started for resources. I mean, we'll find something that we really want as a country, whether it be oil or some kind of commodity, and if we can't get it through the normal way, all right, if we can't get it through peace, we're going to go in, we're going to find some reason to invade this country and go in by force so we can get at the resources that we want.
Well, also another problem that is really starting to emerge that we kind of knew well before, Iraq even happened, is that this whole idea of going in and deposing leaders, and trying to, do this whole nation building thing has not really worked. It didn't work in Vietnam, and it sure as hell didn't work in Iraq.
No.
And don't you find it funny that we as a nation, especially for our leaders, we don't look back in history and, I might be kind of going out on a limb here, but we don't use our critical thinking skills and take a look at why Vietnam failed, why the first Gulf War didn't work. I think that's our biggest problem as a country. We just do not look at the results of what happens when we go into these countries and try to change them. I mean, there's just some countries cannot be changed. I mean, you cannot force people who've been at war for hundreds and hundreds of years to change in a decade. I mean, if you could do that, I mean, I got a magic pill that'll make
after into peace, that have been fighting each other. It's that we go over and we prop up these 2-bit dictators that, are essentially warlords that kill their own people, torture their own people. And we go in and we take advantage of the resources, and we also make terrorists by, by doing this and by carpet bombing and, so the war on terror, we started that.
Yeah.
And we created terrorists. I say the royal we, of course, is the bad foreign policy by a lot of really bad people in our government that propped up really bad people in other governments. So anyway, I'm done. Adam.
Well, let's get through this clip because I want to get to the money shot before break. Because, like I said, I hope Glenn Beck understands this is a keeper. This is going to end up in your end of the year montage, right, Kenny? About liberals being right?
Perhaps so.
Just throwing that out there. Anyway, let's get through this clip.
Of bringing freedom to the people of Iraq for the first time in their long history. I don't want to control Iraq. I don't want anything to do with it. But I do have a soft spot for people who are being tortured and just want freedom. Because I really, truly believe Democrats and Republicans are the same. Israelis and Palestinians are the same. Once you get the politicians to leave the room, once you can deprogram people from what their politicians and their leaders have said, everybody's pretty much the same. It's like, I just want to be left alone, man. I just want to raise my family. I want to have fun. I want a decent life. Then politicians get involved and they program us to hate each other. You have to be carefully taught who to hate. In spite of the things that I felt at the time when we went into war, liberals said we shouldn't get involved. They said we shouldn't get mired in another foreign mess. We shouldn't nation build. And besides, there was no indication that the people of Iraq had the will to be free. I thought that was insulting at the time. Everybody wants to be free. They said we couldn't force freedom on people. You know what? Let me lead with my mistakes. You're right. Liberals, you were right. We shouldn't have. Now, if you believed those things, let me say, you were right. If you were just using it for political purposes, well, then we don't have anything in common. But if you really believed those things, I'd like to have a conversation with you now to find out exactly how you came to terms with those, especially being a progressive, and if you know the history of the progressive movement. It was Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson that started imposing democracy in South America. The reason why South America is just loaded with communists is because we put a lot of them in. And that's the progressive ideal.
Oh my God!
I think we need a.
I got something to say about that, Adam. Let me just play this. Hopefully, let me get my computer on. Hopefully, you can hear this.
You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying, scheming, stinking, nasty sack of liquid crap.
I think that sums it up.
Yes. All right, so we got to go to break. When we come back, we'll it's time to delve into some hot. We'll probably go over a bit more of this from going back, but it's going to be hot, crazy Christian action. They were out in force in D.C. and in a battle of wits, these people are unarmed. In fact, it's gotten to the point where my mom says, "You got to stop picking on people who are weaker than you." But anyway, we will be right back for the second hour of Mic Check Radio.
You're listening to Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall.
Look, I'm up to here with cool, okay? I am so amazingly cool. You could keep a sight of meeting me for a month. I am so hip I have difficulty seeing over my pelvis.
Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
I don't want to step on your toes. That's all. But yeah, that new bump, the revamped Zaphod bump, I think I have to tweak down the music a bit on that one. Because I can't amp the clip up anymore. It's maxed out. So.
Okay. Yeah, sure. No problem. And so excited to get. We're gonna have Mark Taylor Campfield on the program, kids. Very good.
Okay, I think it's done saving.
Live on your computer machine.
A man with breathtaking anger management issues.
It's Adam Hebert with Mic Check Radio.
I will admit, so far I'm keeping the breathtaking anger management issues under control. So,
bravo.
Do I seem high strung tonight?
No, you seem all right.
So, deep breaths. I am at one with the universe.
You've been doing yoga on us?
I'm trying to pursue do like Master Shifu and Kung Fu Panda. Find inner peace.
You do have breathtaking management anger issues, or anger management issues.
Yes, I do.
Goku, he's so proud of you.
Anyway, joining me as always out of the great city of Baltimore, Maryland, Mr. Robert Poole.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, Mr. So I was about to say,
I love that shtick. That
I figured you were, getting material because
it's just for my listening pleasure.
All right, and also joining us, Cordell Garrett, the official blog screenwriter of the Stephanie Miller Show out of North Carolina.
Yeah, actually, I'm in Terra Nova. I'm in Commander Taylor's office, and I'm trying to give him a nice massage so he won't kick me out of his office.
I think I missed that show. I heard about it, but I never watched it.
You need to check. You need to check it out when you get a chance. If you're a fan of Stephen Lang like I am, I think Terra Nova was probably the best work he's done. Of everything that I've seen him do, it's a show that shouldn't have been canceled. In my opinion.
Yeah. Mystery Science Theater shouldn't have been canceled. Damn it. I'm still bitter. 20 years later. Anyway, let's get to some of this stuff. Because it's time for some hot, crazy Christian action. I don't know if you guys have heard of a man named Jonathan Kahn. Yeah. Where's my... I had it. Oh.
Kahn, like as in...
Yes.
Marriage, essentially, or
Yes.
we're
Yes.
well on the road
Yes.
toward that. And we're continuing to kill babies. I think
Yes.
it's 1.1 million babies
And
a
make
year.
Christians pay for them.
Yes. And then the laws are changing so that you can't even speak the truth.
Yes, good, evil, and evil, good. So you got to put the whole picture, because that's the same with ancient Israel. The ancient commentaries on what Israel did is they say that we will show man, that's the enemy, and God. It's not that people are consciously doing it, but the nation as a whole. When you rewrite marriage, when you say we don't care basically what God said, that's defiance of God. And so this is all part of the whole big picture of what same thing happened in ancient Israel.
Marriage.
What?
Marriage.
Wait a minute. I need to make sure I don't have any wax in my ears.
You don't have wax in your ears. This guy is nuttier than a cheese log. That's the most polite thing I have to say.
Here's what I have to say about it. I'm just gonna let that speak for itself.
But again, after dying in hell, sleeping next to Adolf Hitler. Just saying.
I'm not one to try to be mean towards people, but the more that I read the filth that are coming from these folks, I find myself actually wanting them to experience everything that they are preaching about day in and day out. I want them to know what it's like to be persecuted, to have your rights taken away from you, and you being powerless to do anything about it. I want them to know what it's like when, somebody comes in, when one of them comes into a room and they see other people drawing up because they're worried they're going to take something valuable of theirs. I want them. Now Adam done got me started. Now I'm trying to control my rage.
All right, so
let's
get to another. Let's see what else we got, because we got a lot of crazy stuff. Well, here's Brian Fisher. Discrimination, according to him, is a good thing.
We need to
I can sit there and tell you I've had people call me on the phone, one of my jobs, demanding to speak to somebody who sounds white. I actually had a customer tell me that in my face one night that he didn't want to talk to me because, quote, I sounded black. And then when I wouldn't let him speak to any other person because it was just me and one other person in the whole freaking call center, we had like something like 70, 80 calls in queue. I just couldn't drop the phone and transfer him to someone else. He had no choice but to speak to me. He called me every kind of racial name under the sun. And then when I reported it to my manager, my white manager, I got laughed at. You know, the only way I got justice was by telling a local manager what would happen. You know what happened? The local manager stepped up when my regular manager wouldn't do anything. That's freaking discrimination. So don't sit there and tell me you think the left has taken over discrimination. You don't know what it's like to be discriminated. And I pity you if you ever get in a position to find out.
Hey, check this out, Cordell. I used to work in a call center too, and somebody called me. I got a call forwarded to me, and they said on the telephone, it's ridiculous.
I mean, and they just don't know. You know, my grandmother and my pastor always says the same thing. You need to be careful what words you choose towards people, because when you use those racial type words, believe me, remember those words, and those words are going to stick with you for a long time, and it's going to hurt. And I have, I have a hard time talking to certain conservatives, because every time I try to talk to them, especially when they hear my voice, you the in person, I don't want to talk to you because you don't know what you're talking about. And no matter what I tell them, I said, look, I read, I watch the news, I know the issues, I know what's going on. But in their mind, and this is what I went through yesterday, this person had made all kinds of assumptions about me, called me lazy, called me a freeloader. And I'm sitting there thinking, you don't even know what my situation is. How can you sit down in front of, and I called him a keyboard warrior because he was starting to piss me off. And I told him, I said, you're sitting here making all these assumptions about somebody you don't even know. You don't know what kind of hell that person.
Mental institutions, because, I mean, they're a bunch of sociopaths. That's just my honest opinion.
I'm looking forward to the day where all of their rhetoric comes back to bite them in the butt, and they can not only can they not win nationally, but they can't even win local races. I honestly believe in my heart that if they continue on this course, I'm going to go out on a limb right now, and I'm going to say by 2020, the Republican Party is going to be no more if they don't change course and let the moderate, reasonable people gain control of their party.
Yeah. Speaking of sociopaths, Alan West.
You have Saudi Arabia, which is the historical dominant leader in the Islamic world because they have the holiest sites of Mecca and Medina. You have Turkey, who was the last, Islamic caliphate, if you want to call it that, and that was the Ottoman Empire. And then you have the new kid that's on the block, who is Shia, which is Iran, who is looking to restore their dominance, from long since past of a Persian empire, but now it would be a radical Islamist empire. But again, Saudi Arabia and Turkey are Sunni, and Iran is Shia. So there will be that schism there. But there is the great potential that they will.
Thinking, why won't our Muslim brothers and sisters step up to the plate and counterattack this bullcrap?
Yeah.
Well, the thing of it is, too, especially with Muslims, there's not that many moderate Muslims left in the Middle East. Speaking up against a lot of the governments over there can get you killed.
Yeah. Unlike here, that's what I don't get. They always accuse President Obama being this tyrant. The tyrants in this country are the conservatives, the Alan Wests. They have Wes coined the term death boner. I'm going to coin the term tyranny boner. They've got a boner for tyranny. They want you under their thumb, and anyone who refuses to kneel before them will be, is the enemy and to be disposed of in the appropriate manner of their choosing. They don't believe in freedom.
Yeah, they have a Zod complex.
Yes. Damn it! I should.
With Boehner's leadership, so we need some new leadership in that House. But as it relates to the other, I think you just judge him by his acts, and he can call him all kinds of things, and things that you couldn't even repeat. But the fact is, he is the president of the United States. But on the other hand, you look at his actions, and his actions promote communist, socialist kinds of ideas. His actions are very sympathetic to Islam and very hostile to Christianity. You just go one after another. He supported the rise of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, a well-known terrorist organization. That's the mother of all terrorist organizations. So you just judge him by his actions, and they're pretty obvious. This president is probably one of the most, I wouldn't say probably, he is the most anti-American president who's intent on undermining our Judeo-Christian values and weakening not only us here in the United States, but clearly weakening us abroad. And frankly, he is actually succeeding in weakening us internationally.
I mean, what an asshole!
Stunning.
It is, his stupidity is stunning.
It's beyond stunning. It's like every time they make these charges, I'm like, give me an. Welcome to the labyrinth of the world. It's a land of three letters, A, D, and D. Filling out your character sheet. You're keeping track of HPs and XPs. He's a role-playing master, the polyhedron caster. He's gonna kill you with his guy. He's a role-playing master, the magic missile blaster. His armor class is -10. Bag of holding mine, flint and steel, iron rations and a bastard sword. Forget holiness. This is all about strength. No more charisma, but maybe your dexterity can save you now. He's a role-playing master, for polyhedron caster. He's gonna kill you with his style. He's a role-playing master, for magic missile blaster. His armor class is -9.
Evil creeps across. And that the world, as John Kennedy said, doesn't start out there. You have to make it that way.
The Nicole Sandler Show, live Monday through Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, or podcast anytime at radioornot.com.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show. Now, Tony, since you're in the UK, I would love to get your opinion of some of our contenders right now. So let's start with our good friend Mitt Romney.
Mr. Smoothie.
Yeah. Have you heard his singing voice? The man has the voice of an angel.
Does he really? Above the fruited plains.
So.
Brilliant.
Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
You're listening to Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall.
I am the most unpleasant, rude, ignorant, and all-round obnoxious arsehole that anyone could possibly have the misfortune to meet.
Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Live show for that. I can only do so many live hours a week, guys. But anyway, let's get to this crazy talk from... I introduced everyone, pimped my stuff. I think we're good. So, I don't know if the March for Marriage is new. This was the first time I've heard of it. But it's one of those like the March for Life. It's basically, we're so persecuted because gay people are treated like people. They think they're people! I mean, is that an exaggeration?
Well, what was the exaggeration was how many people actually showed up for it and what they had to do just to get them to get there. That's why I'm laughing so hard.
I mean, these people are just. Anywho,
crazy.
Yeah. So let's get started with this. What am I gonna do? This is from the March for Marriage. Former Governor Mike Huckabee, or as I call him, Fuckabee.
The President and the Congress are not required to defy natural law. They are not.
Hey, I don't think we should be using all Stephanie Miller's drops on Adam's show. He's got his own sound.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Let me see here.
Let's see here. That's kind of their shtick.
Let's see here. I think I've got something appropriate. And this is dedicated to Mike Huckabee. Oh, no. I got the perfect one.
Is this an army of idiots?
Yes, it's an army of idiots. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Did he used to have his own radio show?
He might still. I know he's got his own show on. I know he's got his own show on Fox News. I'm sorry. I meant Fox News. I'm sorry. Slip of the tongue.
Okay, so he's not like somebody who's hot, like high in the party or has a national platform. He's just some random dude that they invited to speak.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, this is one of those cases of them saying, we have blacks too. Look at us. We have minorities too.
So he's one of them.
Yeah. He is, I don't want, he's basically to these schmucks what Clarence Thomas is to Antonin Scalia. And I'm not implying there's sex slavery going on there.
He belongs to a national organization for marriage.
Nom.
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm gonna throw up. I'm sorry.
Don't. We got more to get through. And we don't want the place to be messy for Mark Taylor Canfield. All right.
Oh
boy. Here's Brian Brown.
What we are here today to say is that we stand for the truth about marriage.
That Iraq had WMDs. You would have been critically challenging him. You don't stand for truth. I don't care what you say. I don't care how many lies you post. If you stood for truth, you would be open to hearing another viewpoint, and you're not open. I'm sorry.
Yep. Well, now I want you to listen to this next clip. This is Ralph Reed. Okay. Listen very carefully, because this man basically advocates a terrorist act. And I'll ask questions.
Because the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. And we're going to remain vigilant. And let me tell you what we're going to do after we kill these regulations once and for all. We're going to see a new Senate and a new House come January of 2015. And we are not going to stop until we abolish this agency, clear that building, eliminate it. I think we ought to raise that building to the ground and build a monument on the...
The mainstream media said, a record. What about the 42% that stayed home? I've even heard people say, well, I don't vote because I don't know what's going on. And I say, good. Stupid people are ruining America, and I'm glad some of them stay home.
And he says this with no hint of irony. And I said this last night, much to the ire of another conservative friend of mine. Stupid people are ruining America. And it's the stupid, dumb fucks who come out every election and mindlessly pull the lever for these Republican retards like Herman Cain.
And that's why liberals who are listening, if you listen to anything I say, and I'm pleading, I know I'm begging, I'm going to get on my knees despite how bad my back's hurting right now. And I'm going to beg you. I don't care what issues you have with President Obama or how pissed off you are that your pet issue isn't getting taken care of as fast as possible. I'm begging you. Go out to the polls and vote. Vote like your lives depend on it, because your lives do depend on it.
Yeah.
I am so terrified.
And he wants to say stupid people are ruining America. Well, you know what? Stupid people are ruining the GOP. Stupid people ruin their own campaigns with, by behaving badly. When they again try and control other people and lord over them with, sexual harassment or something like that. So, I understand where you're coming from, Cordell. Everybody knows we need to get out and vote. I mean, you're kind of preaching to the choir here, but we just need to keep, banging the drum about how stupid these people are and how capable of screwing up not only the government, but capable of screwing up their own campaigns, like Herman Cain. Herman Cain will never be an elected official anywhere in this country. Sarah Palin will never be an elected official anywhere in this country. Most of these people who go to these conferences, they'll belong to like National Organization for Marriage. But you know what? They're absolutely like the guy said earlier from NAM. He said we're on the right side of truth and we're on the right side of history. Well, if the right side of truth is working your way to the dustbin of history, then you are on the right track, guys, and they are. So I don't think we need to preach to the choir about getting out to vote. I think we need to point out how goddamn stupid these guys are.
And here's another thing that kills me. For forgiveness, and maybe within a week they'll switch and go to something else. But I'm just being an optimist.
I'd say, Adam, never say never. You might have a urinal cake made in your own likeness. There are lots of people who make custom things like that out there. So
I don't. Okay, well let's go to this because
hey, chat room. I'm not gonna get that out my head tonight.
Maybe chat room Rob will come back and make you one.
Yeah. Before we go, I want to play this because this is important. This is Rafael Cruz, the sire of the dumb Cruz. That's kind of sad is when you say, oh, it's the dumb Cruz. Which Cruz? They're both pretty stupid. But if you listen to this guy is preaching the Seven Mountains Dominionism strategy, which is we take over everything and then we force people to do what we tell them to. This is fascism, folks. Theocratic fascism. Here's Rafael Cruz talking about his army of mutant. What is it? Mutant atomic supermen.
Yeah, that's right. Bella.
In no way, shape, or form can you infer that Jefferson was trying to say that the church should not have an influence upon every area.
After this.
You're listening to Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall.
It's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
And I forgot to mention that there is no Green News Report this week because Brad Freeman and Desi Doyen are at a wedding. And of course, we look forward to them, making it home safe. And we offer congratulations. We don't know who it is, but congratulations all the same.
I walked out of the room. Congratulations for what?
To the people who are getting married at the wedding that Brad and Desi went to this week.
Oh, okay, yeah. No green news. Sad.
There's a Brad-shaped void in my life. You know, first we lose Randy, then Ed.
Attention, people of Earth.
What's going on
Attention,
there?
people of Earth. Do not be alarmed. Stand by for an important message. Stand by for an important message.
And now, Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Oh, please let it be fantastic.
Of course.
Yes, it's rather good, isn't it?
Hey, I'm just enjoying the show.
Inconceivable!
I can't take it anymore!
There's no need for that attitude.
Don't make me go to the larder and unseal a tin of whoop ass.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
How freaking cool is that shit?
Hey, stop! I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Nice, right? I learned that one from you, guy. Bang it out.
We are going live. Yeah. Feel free to hang around for a while.
Oh, God, this makes me happy.
And now, you're listening to Adam Hebert. What?
Never forgive me if I try to talk like this.
Well, obviously,
lots and lots of cigarettes.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that guy? He's younger than me, and he looks like he's 50.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, guys. When I first saw what he looked like, I actually did think he was in his 50s.
Yeah, he's not. He's younger than old Kenny Pick. But anyway, let's get Mark Taylor Canfield on the line.
All right, yes, I was about to say he's got some marijuana news out of I almost said Ohio, out of Washington State on Midsummer.
Mm-hmm. Here we go, ringing him up. Let's see if this works here, kids. Going through. Mark's a great guy.
Mark at 206-380.
Let's go ahead and.
Oops.
There we go.
I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry. I hung up on you.
It's better now. So that's weird. I can't. I'll text him and see if see what's going on with him. But go ahead and go and move on to something else. We could do a quick asshole of the week right now.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's knock that out while we wait for Mark to confirm he's available.
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir. I know that. What's his name?
And you know, when we're gonna go into a conflict, don't speculate that it's gonna be some kind of love fest, because war is war. War ain't love, you know. And
who had the nerve to take 6 children and drive them home and not let them ride in her car because she didn't want their wet swimsuits to ruin her upholstery. So Miss Young is sitting in jail for endangering her children and the children of her friend. So Miss Young, you're an asshole.
My asshole of the week is Dick Cheney. We're done. Let's get Mark on.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Do I even need to explain why Dick Cheney is it?
No, not really. I think I
Cheney.
find it out earlier on.
Adam for the win.
It's Dick Cheney. We're done. Let's go.
All right, let's call Mark.
We're calling Mark. I'm going to have my finger on the button just in case he doesn't pick up.
We know we got the right number.
Yeah.
But I did just text him back saying that we would be calling him in 2 minutes or less.
Hello. Driving license can escort you wherever you want to go. So they showed up and we got here, even though everybody else was stuck in traffic or not being able to get a bus. But there were a lot of people we saw along the way that were walking miles and miles in order to get here on time. but it's a annual tradition in Seattle, and it's a huge festival. My Brazilian friends are saying that it's the closest thing to Carnival in Rio, or what traditional Mardi Gras celebrations are like. So it's Seattle's chance to kind of let their hair down and get crazy for a weekend. And there's a lot of good bands. The Blues Scholars have been playing. That's a really great local hip-hop band. A lot of other... Built to Spill is another Seattle band that does a lot of... yes, they played last night at the Waterfront stage in Fremont. So you could buy a ticket, and for $20, $25, you could basically go to 2 days worth of shows, get a pass. So a lot of people went to the parade, and then they at times call themselves the People's Republic of Fremont. But it's actually, it's less communism and more a lot of sort of hippiedom, which is a big thing on the West Coast from San Francisco north to Vancouver, where a lot of folks headed out west to get away from the Eastern establishment during the heyday of the Summer of Love. Well, a lot of them ended up in the Northwest, and so Fremont became sort of a alternative community where people have a big, strong arts community, very active. The Fremont Association does a lot of work to help people in the community, and they run food banks and have big arts festivals, and so it's a very hands-on, kind of interactive, creative sort of place. It's also, by the way, the center of a lot of new development in the corporate world, which includes Adobe and Google and Amazon. So it's an interesting mesh of cultures in Seattle. Even the corporate people want to eat cruelty-free and gluten-free bread and vegetarian food. It's an interesting culture. Very interesting.
Yep. Definitely. And Adam,
if the production comes together the way that we'd like, so that
Mark, and
people
that's
will have a chance
absolutely
to kick back.
Yeah, and Mark, that's an absolute perfect fit, and that's the exact. It fits in perfectly with the idea of indie media. So and you're taking it in a direction that is going to really enrich the lineup we already have and offer something different. And I really admire you for that. That's great. And we should also give a plug, of course, because you're all over the place on the internet. You're at the Huffington Post, Daily Kos, wherever. What's the best way for people to find, your writing?
Well, first I have to tell you that this is crazy, but my friend from Chicago rescued a monitor lizard from a pet shop there, and so we're walking around with it right now as we do this interview, and all these people are coming up to talk to the lizard. It's still more or less an infant, so it's only about 3 feet long, but when it's full size, it'll be 5 feet long. But it's been raised only with humans, and it's fine in terms of text. But I was actually inspired by what Nicole Sandler did with Radio or Not after she left Air America. Mm-hmm. And I was also, following Jacob Dean down in Portland at Filter Free Radio and what was going on there. And then Space Dog Radio is another independent media source here in Seattle. Also worked with the Progressive Radio Northwest group, which had some panels on how to bring back independent media to the Northwest, because after Clear Channel bought up 880 radio stations and Cumulus bought another 330, there's really very little independent or progressive media left in the United States. Which is why, by the way, or one of the reasons why we are ranked 46th in the world in terms of press freedom by Reporters Without Borders. So that's one of the main issues that I want to keep pushing is press freedom in the United States.
Yeah, no, that's great. Now, you also had some news regarding marijuana laws in Washington that you wanted to share. Is that correct?
It's actually Wenatchee, Washington. Is a city on the east side of the Cascade Mountains, where it's more of a semi-arid kind of desert region, unlike here in Seattle where it's a rainforest, basically. But ability to deny him a business license. And the city of Wenatchee is saying that the reason that they're denying the business license is because their ordinance that they passed last October says that that all businesses have to comply with federal law. And on a federal level, marijuana is actually not legal, although the Justice Department under President Barack Obama has not really gone after marijuana as much as the previous administration, although there are some medicinal marijuana growers who are still being busted to this day, including in Washington State. But they have allowed, more tolerance on the federal level, and yet it's actually still illegal according to federal law. So the city of Wenatchee says you cannot have a business license as federal government, but it's a big story, and it really is going to set a precedent for the rest of the country, including California, Vermont, and other states that are in the process of trying to legalize or decriminalize marijuana.
And again, this is the kind of news that you're bringing people that, the corporate media won't cover. This is what indie media is about. And you giving a voice to an issue like this is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I
Rob?
appreciate the chance
sorry.
to do that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I was just thanking both of you. Thank you both for giving me the chance to talk about stories like this.
Right.
Yeah.
We're up against the break, but Rob, do you have anything to add?
No. Although this is important, as far as if we want to end the war on drugs, this is an important step.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Sure to keep an eye out for it.
Yeah. I'm sorry Wes wasn't here because I'm sure he would have loved talking to you about this, but we'll see what happens. Any final thoughts before we let you go so we go to break?
It's a good place to test out some of these issues like the labeling of genetically modified organisms in the grocery chains. Unfortunately, that failed because Monsanto and DuPont and everybody else threw millions of dollars against it. But it doesn't mean that it's going to go away. And that, by the way, is another issue that still has legs, just like the fight for net neutrality and the $15 an hour minimum wage and also the legalization of marijuana. These are just my observation as a journalist is that these are stories that aren't going away. They are going to continue to develop across the country. So as a journalist, I will continue to follow where they go.
And Mark, I have a little bit of Jeff Santos trivia for you. Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick subbed for him for a while on WVKO out of Columbus. So
awesome. He's asked me several times to let him know how these independent media networks are going because he really is also in a situation where it's difficult to get the program out there. Although he is now on WCPT in Chicago, which is awesome. Right. That's one of the few stations left that actually just hasn't kowtowed to Clear Channel.
Have fun with the lizard.
Yes, have fun with the lizard.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.
Later.
Okay. Just to make sure I don't accidentally call him back later. There we go. There we go. Anyway, we're going to go to...
I just said dotting your I's.
Yeah, being careful. We'll be right back after this. It's up next, some Game of Thrones stuff that, again, Wes is going to regret missing. Graphic content with Kenny Pick. And what the heck? We'll see. We'll ask Rob what he thinks of what we did with for the Mad Science thing. Just to waste time. We'll be right back after this. Oh, and just because we're revamping our promos. This is going to be a double music shot. So enjoy.
You're listening to Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall.
When Ramses destroyed Syria, that was an accident. You are a catastrophe!
Mic Check.
Atomic fire.
It's on the TV when you get home. It'll never leave you. You'll never be alone again. Here's a story of human interest. It could save your life and the lives of your family. Take your pick tonight. Choose your channel right. This is the evening news. You know you're leaving. Forget the world.
Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert, Wes Carscaddon, Rob Poole, and John Kendall.
Yes, Master Philosopher, alchemist, and eternal love god. Oh!
Enough of that. We don't have time for your long-winded self-introductions.
Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Back for our final segment. Join me as always, Master Alchemist, Mr. Robert Poole.
Alchemy is just chemistry with a prettier name.
Yeah. Also joining us, Master Philosopher, Mr. Kenny Pick, out of Cleveland, Ohio.
I have to say that I had to run in the other room because I didn't know you were going to play Atomic Fire and Local Evening News. And I ran into the other room and grabbed the headphones off of Susan so I could hear a little bit of the Hairwolf songs. And oh my God, it's so beautiful and clear. And Kim is saying I didn't realize how good you guys were because of how bad the Liberal Justice Radio feed was, in the past. And I got to say, I surprised myself on how good we were when I listened to it.
Yeah.
Look, up in the sky!
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's graphic content with Kenny Pick.
What about this one?
A superb choice.
Oh, great.
Yeah, provided he has already read Infinite Crisis and 52 and is familiar with the reestablishment of the DC multiverse.
Seems like a nice guy.
You mean for someone who's into comic books?
All right, Kenny, what do you have for us this week?
Well, I'm just going to give you an old standard just because this is a special show tonight because it's the very first Mike Check Radio on Indie Media Weekly. And I'm going to go with a classic, Alan Moore, Dave Gibbons, The Watchmen. All right. You might have seen the movie, kids, but you need to read the book because they changed a lot in that film that I definitely did not approve of. Alan Moore did not want his name attached to the movie. I think he was credited as the original writer or something like that. They didn't even call him Alan Smithy, But yeah, The Watchmen is a beautiful graphic novel. The way it was done is just stunning. The characters in it were loosely based on Charlton characters like the Blue Beetle and Captain Atom and stuff like that. And now anybody's familiar with the book, there's a comic book that a kid is reading throughout this graphic novel called The Black Freighter about this, it's like a pirate comic book that he's reading. And it's like an enhanced narrative to what's going on in the world of The Watchmen. And, it's really, and that's something that wasn't part of the movie, too, the whole Black Freighter thing. But yeah, so I won't get too long-winded on this, but yes, Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. You can't go wrong for a more perfect story. That's the book, one of the books that got me back into comic books in the mid-'90s. And it's a very affordable graphic novel, a collection of 12 monthly issues that they put out, I think in 1985. And, it stands the test of time. And, if you watch the movie or if you're a fan of superhero movies at all, this is something that reading this book is they wanted to do something that could never be replicated in film. And that's what they did. And, they might have pulled it off, as one of my friends said about the Watchmen film, but they didn't do the book justice. And Zack Snyder was the wrong director for that film. But yeah, so that's all I have. And I actually own the motion comic, so maybe I'll just mail it to you.
Yeah, I would love to check that out, because I haven't read comics in almost a decade now. I have no idea what's going on in the comic book world for either Marvel or DC.
Yeah. And I did a search. You can go to dccomics.com. Watchmen original issues 1 through 12 available for download. Looks like they're probably $1.99 a piece or something like that.
Okay, I'm definitely going to check that out. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
All right. Now for my show and tell. Some people may have seen the picture I posted last night. It was and the caption was 2 of my favorite things together. It was a picture of the latest box set of Mystery Science Theater 3000, holding up for the camera right now. Volume 30, which has the episodes. Now this is like probably one of the best boxes they've done. And don't get me wrong, I like most of this box set, but the big one for me was the episode Outlaw of Gore. Now, Mystery Science Theater in its 10-year history won a Peabody, I believe. It was either Cable Ace or Peabody.
On the radio. And I hope that I get the pleasure. I want to go to Seattle now. Just to see that.
Just watch Outlaw of Gore, and that'll be a good representative.
No, I'm telling you though, Outlaw of Gore is one of the best. I mean, like I said, this is the one that won them their award. It's a Mike episode. I will say the one problem I have with this box set is the Black Scorpion. That's a season 1 episode. And season 1 is when they were doing this live. They were just watching the movie and throwing stuff at the screen. They weren't working from scripts. And starting in season 2, season 3 is when they really were doing, that was when they made it an art form. Season 1 it has some good stuff, but it's not as polished as you'll see. So, but definitely Outlaw of Gore. Watch it. Watch it tonight. No.
See, you react to Mystery Science Theater the way I used to react to Red Dwarf.
I'm telling you.
I love it. I just plowed through all of Red Dwarf a couple months ago.
I can say
6 episodes long because they were working on the movie. All the other seasons, except for the last 2, were like 25 episodes, I think. 22 episodes, 20, 25 episodes, somewhere in there.
So do you have any, obviously you are going to know more than anybody. What insight do you have into the shakeup of Joel versus Mike?
Well, I'm going to be honest. This is just my impression. I've met Joel. I haven't had the chance to have like an extended conversation, but I've talked to him briefly. And he's a very nice guy. And my impression of him when he was on Mystery Science Theater back in the day is he was uncomfortable being the center of attention. And it showed, I think.
Oh.
I think in a lot of his episodes, like when he's in the theater in air quotes, because it's not a real theater, he's funny as hell. But like the host scenes, when he knows he can be seen, he's just really withdrawn, it seemed. And Mike, I mean, I'm in the Joel versus Mike debate. I'm with Mike because those are most of the episodes I know. But
yeah,
Mike was more. First of all, Mike was handpicked by Joel. That's the thing you need to know. There's no argument between them. Mike was handpicked by Joel.
Insight. I'm glad you laid this all out. This is that's an awesome segment there. It's in and of itself.
I mean, like I said, I got this I was actually not supposed to get this until Monday, and it showed up on the doorstep yesterday. It was like, and like I said, I was originally going to cancel the order because, I kind of made a mistake and stayed at my old job too long. I should have left and gotten something with more money possibilities, but then I was like, you know what? I've worked hard for this. I deserve to laugh, so I'm probably gonna keep it. But yeah.
So we going into a little bit of overtime here?
If that's okay. I mean, Rob doesn't work. You don't seem to be busy. We'll go into overtime because I've got that Game of Thrones thing to share.
Okay.
I've got two Game of Thrones things to share. But first, this is from, I forget whose show this was from, but you'll get what's going on here. Okay. So the season finale of Game of Thrones was last weekend. No spoilers because I don't have HBO. I'm too poor to afford it.
Somebody died.
Huh? Yeah, somebody died. Oh, that doesn't help.
Well,
that doesn't. Just the imp.
Oh my God! When I saw that, I died laughing. I couldn't believe it.
I haven't seen that yet. Post that on my Facebook page. Who did that?
We did that.
Who?
Will Wheaton had somebody made that.
Oh, Will Wheaton. That's funny. That's funny.
You got to see it, dude. I watched it like 5 times and laughed my butt. I couldn't do anything else for the rest of the day.
Cordell, have you watched the bad lip reading Game of Thrones?
Yes, I did. I couldn't go to bed that night. I'm like,
that was fun.
Somebody actually did that.
I just love that. The clips they picked with Varys were hilarious because he's like, okay, and making Tyrion talk like a little gangsta. You know, that was funny. So.
Oh my God! I'm like, dude, somebody had way too much time on their hands when he put that together.
That's great stuff. So
no, I mean, and I just posted it to your Facebook, Kenny, so you'll find it. After
I got
the show.
it. Great stuff.
I'm
liking it right now.
And yes.
And you all know I'm a nasty
episode when somebody came riding to the rescue. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
That one, my jaw hit the floor. My jaw hit the goddamn floor, and I'm still trying to get it back up. So, all right.
I may have to go back and binge watch this entire season because
I think I'm gonna.
I didn't think anything could top last season, but they exceeded my expectations this season. I don't see how they can. I don't know how I feel about season 5, but I'm like, you're going to have to really kick some serious butt to top season 4.
Oh, they've done a great job. I don't see how they can screw things up at this point unless they put Ewoks in it or something,
or run out of material before the author finishes.
Yeah, it will. True.
That's
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, it's kind of a stretch, Adam, because there's 2 more books. And you got to remember, season 3 and 4 was just 1 book.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. That's what I was kind of surprised about because I thought all the books had been finished, and then when I was doing some background the other day, I'm like, there's 2 more books to come out.
Well, and George R. Martin, he just released a chapter of the latest book on.
Over the next few days, Game of Thrones has also been the most pirated show of 2013. I don't know. There are a lot of
people watch it, right?
I think there are a lot of little.
I don't get it.
They're like gnomes and elves.
Is
and
this like
people
Hobbit
spikes coming out of their sides of their face? I don't know. Everybody watches that.
Wait.
Is it highly political, Thomas? Do you watch this?
It's excellent.
Is it? I've heard it's amazing. Nicole. This?
I don't. I don't. I don't like dragons. Watching that.
I'm having
dragons.
There are dragons and gnomes and all of these.
I miss this whole era
dragons flying. Okay, look at this. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm going to do on a Sunday night.
Game of Thrones.
Is it like Lord of the Rings?
Fighting for power. There are only 3 dragons, not a lot of dragons.
Okay, is it like Lord of the Rings or something? Like
kind of
like that because I like Lord of the Rings.
It just doesn't work.
It's nothing like Lord of the Rings.
I'm sorry, I don't like it.
I haven't even watched Mad Men this season. I heard it was bad. Is it horrible?
No, it's terrible. You should be watching Mad Men.
Nicole?
It starts very slow and very bad, but it ends well.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta watch it,
Who
man.
has time? What are you
talking
talking watch
about?
television? I don't get it.
I know. I gotta watch.
A former cast member from the reality show Jersey Shore.
All right. It just
watch Game of Thrones, not Morning Joe. There's a reason why. Yeah. But I mean, seriously, every once in a while, Morning Joe does something to get it right. But, just this little pig ignorant display of a show that's beloved by so many people. And it's got elves and gnomes and people with spikes. What is he saying? People with spikes out of the sides of their face? What is he talking about?
This is
Hellraiser?
This is going to get me in trouble, but you know what what Game of Thrones doesn't have? Dead interns.
Hopefully there's not a dead squire anywhere anytime soon. But, all I gotta say is keep Joe Scarborough away from Podrick, okay?
All right. Any other thoughts before I start auguring this in?
Just bring it home. Bring it home.
All right.
If you want to be mean, Kenny, if you really want to be mean, put Joe Scarborough there, Peter.
Most of the schedule.
Yes. Okay. Blue Sky Highway, Toke Signals, and of course Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert, which is live every Saturday night, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. The Indie Media Weekly Radio Late Night Social Club. God damn it, I can't say that.
We'll just call it the Late Night Social Club. There's only one way to find it.
Late Night Social Club.
Yeah, and don't forget too the awesome new feature of an amazing playlist of songs that are played randomly between all the scheduled live and repeat shows in the podcast. So Kim and I are hand selecting all the music that goes into the network, and I'll tell you what, it's like the proverbial Forrest Gump box of chocolates. Never know what you're gonna get.
Yes. Okay, so parting shots. Rob, what do you got for us?
So yeah, we're halfway through 2014. I think a couple decades from now, when historians will look back at this year, it's going to be remembered as the year of.
Now, Kenny, you have to promise to tell me exactly at what point the gay agenda destroys your marriage with Susan. That's sarcasm.
I really had a hard time deciding to go to this gay wedding because I just don't know if me and Susan are going to be able to survive after this as a couple. I think that Cordell. I mean, you have an insight to the gay agenda. So can you tell what would be the Cordell? What are the first signs that I should be warned about that are going to threaten my marriage?
Well, let's see. Man. If a dashing, good-looking hunk of man comes by, you suddenly find yourself getting aroused. You might want to get worried. You might want to.
What if should I not eat the cake or the hors d'oeuvres or something? Are they gonna poison me with gay poison or something?
The jury is still out on that because I'm not aware of all our secret powers. So, I was.
Well, you're part of the Illuminati. Yeah, you're not top tier Illuminati, so I understand. All right. Let's get Cordell.
Geez, I got so much to say. I just want to say thank you to Kim for giving me a chance to be a part of this, because let me tell you, that new stream is amazing. I've listened to it, off on, it sounds great. I can't wait to hear what I sound like. I wonder if she might even be able to make me sound competent. I have to admit, not only do I have breathtaking anger management issues, I also have breathtaking self-esteem issues as well. But
we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Also, I'm very grateful to have a chance to sub for Kenny Pick because Kenny, I always feel like when you're like you took your first day off because you're sick, in a long time, a couple weeks ago, and I mean you've been kind of sick before, but you always plowed through, and me, I just want to help.
Oh, well, that was so, it hit me so hard and so fast. Summer colds are the goddamn worst. And so many people are getting them now. So, but it's okay, kids. I'm better.
I don't know if I'm Oscar worthy. I just want to have the chance to pursue what I've been dreaming about all my life.
Yeah.
And remember me when you need a voiceover for a trailer, because in a world without a voiceover for a trailer, you could be in trouble.
Yeah. Also, please give. I'll have the Mad Science demo hopefully uploaded tonight. Please give it a listen. If you like it, contact Kim and tell her we demand Mad Science.
Love it.
I feel ashamed for being so for promoting myself, but I actually did enjoy it.
Yeah, self-promoting on your own show. Who's ever done that before?
I never have. I'm kidding.
But anyway,
all right, wrap it up, Adam. Wrap it.
Yeah. We will be back next week. Don't forget, I'll be on Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick for all 3 hours this Friday, and on Friday, looking at the calendar, July 18th. While Kenny's away at Netroots Nation, I was actually thinking about trying to get War on that one, so he can kind of poke him in the scene. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
We'll let everybody know.
Yes. So we'll be back next week. Everyone have a great week. Bye.
So far, so good.
Okay.
Although the Skype quality, the audio is a little...
Yeah, I'm thinking it's YouTube. I'm thinking YouTube's straying my resources. Damn it. Because I like what YouTube is offering, and
I don't know if it sounds all right on the stream. I guess I don't really have much, that much to complain about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I need you guys to be able to hear me too. I just, like I said, I don't know. I do know that there were a couple times where I fell off of Indie Media Weekly radio. So I'm thinking